What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined by the man, Brian DeGennaro. How are we doing tonight, Brian?
I'm fantastic, Pat. I mean, what can I say? How are you?
Listen, I'm doing great. You know who else is doing great, Brian?
Tell
Nestor
me.
Cortes Jr. Bro, we're going to talk all about the rise of Nestor because I would say within like a couple years span, this man has gone from mop-up role in the bullpen to now you could make an argument that he's the best pitcher in all of New York, maybe not even all of New York, maybe in the entire MLB. Dude, we're going to break it down tonight. Before we get into anything, everyone be sure like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. I'm going live just about after every single Yankees game this season, so be there. Also, check out my bookie. Link in description, chat. You guys know the deal. My bookie, best place to play sports bets. Do it. And also, use code Yankees1000. You get 50% deposit bonus. Good stuff, dude.
Awesome.
Speaking of Nestor Cortes, let's take into account right now. I know yesterday his start was amazing. I believe he took a no-hitter into the 8th inning, lost it with 1 out. But I think that's just like it's not even a surprise anymore, right? It's just kind of like one tick on the clock of Nestor Cortes. Like when I look at Nestor Cortes, I see a clock, right? And you know like how the minutes kind of like go on a clock, like
Sure,
they go
I've
from
seen a clock before. Yeah, go on.
they go from 12 to 12, right? So
okay.
Nestor in 2019, Nestor was god awful. I'll start his calendar in 2019. Let's say that's where the clock starts. Even though he debuted in 2018 with the Orioles, whatever. 2019, he was with the New York Yankees. I'm sure, like, Brian, you remember, like, we were both Yankees fans back in 2019.
We were, yeah. That was only 2 years ago, or 3 years ago now.
3 years
I
ago
can't
now.
count, so yeah.
But he was awful. Like, he was the guy where it's like, oh, okay, Nestor's coming into the game. It's 12-0. I'm okay. Yeah, like, dude, essentially, if Nestor Cortes is coming into the game, it's over. The Yankees are either down by like 5 runs or like winning by like 10.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, it's like I think we kind of appreciated him for that role. Like we appreciated Nestor Cortes as the guy to come into a game when the Yankees were losing by whatever and kind of like keep it at that. And I know his 5+ ERA will kind of like beg to differ when it comes to that, but I think overall, Nestor fulfilled his role in 2019, right?
Yeah.
2020 happened. He went to the Mariners. We're talking about a guy who had a 15 ERA in 5 games. Like, he didn't have it. And I don't think any Yankee fan was kind of like upset to see him leave. It was kind of a role that could be fulfilled by a Nick Nelson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then 2021 is kind of like the 3 o'clock mark on the clock, bro. I should get a clock. Somehow we jumped through that in like 0.5 seconds. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. But look, we have a clock, right? Nestor Cortes is right here. All right, you get the point, bro. That's how a clock moves.
I haven't seen a clock before. This is a clock.
That's how a clock moves. And you know what? Time moves very fast when you're having fun like Nestor Cortes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's the saying?
Time flies when you're having fun?
Time flies when you're having fun, exactly. Bro, Nestor Cortes is having fun on the mound. Nestor Cortes, entering 2021, there were no expectations for him, and he ended up having a blast, bro. Nestor, listen, I don't think anybody even acknowledged the Nestor Cortes signing prior to the 2021 season. No. I know I didn't. I don't think you did. And somehow, some way, he went from kind of like an under-the-radar signing that we thought was probably going to fulfill the same role that he filled in 2019 to, by the end of the season, you had people questioning if Nestor should start the wild card game over Garrett Cole. Like, Brian, let that sink in for a second. Let that sink in. He's knocking on your front door. Let him in. Is that not crazy?
It's wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah,
insane, bro.
Yeah, totally wild.
But yeah, so like 2021 happened. And if I'm being honest with you, like, I think I could speak on behalf of a lot of people. I thought it was a fluke. Going into the offseason, like, I will confidently say, I was like, yo, like, I hope Nestor's kind of like able to somewhat replicate what he did in 2021 season, because I didn't think that was sustainable, right? He pitched in 22 games, 14 starts. I think he joined the rotation probably about halfway through the season. But once he entered the rotation, it was lights out. I think he finished the season with a sub-3 ERA. And like I said, he was in conversation to be the Yankees' best starter, especially with Garrett Cole's injury, plagued September, and how he got roughed up in the wildcard game. Still injured, by the way. Keep that in mind, please. But yeah, going into the 2022 season, I don't know about you, but I didn't really have any sort of high expectations for Nestor.
No, not at all. I mean, I think we were still talking about him as maybe the fourth starter, like nothing special, and he's always kind of been that fun pitcher, he switches up his timing, he has different deliveries and all that, and that's always been fun, but then all of a sudden it seemed to all come together at once last year, right? We saw him pitch phenomenally down the stretch, and like you said, we thought it was a fluke,
Yeah.
because how could this guy be better than Garrett Cole? That doesn't make any sense. They'll figure it out, right? But now, like, I can't even fathom how good he's been this year. It's just been unbelievable. He's possibly the best pitcher in baseball so far, right?
Dude,
I'm not exactly sure of
it's
the
sick.
stats, but like, who would have thought? Who had on their bingo card that he'd be better than Garrett Cole this year? Like, what's going on?
No, dude,
And
it
Garrett Cole has
actually.
not been bad. That's not a knock on Garrett Cole. It's just to say how good Nestor has been. Like, it's unbelievable.
No, I know, and that's the thing, all right? He kind of went from like a meme, right? Everyone who's
Yeah,
like familiar with memes,
that's
bro.
exactly what he was. He was
He,
a meme.
bro,
Perfect.
he
Couldn't
was
have
the
said it better
guy
myself. Thank you,
with
Pat.
with the funny mustache who had like
Yeah.
the cool merchandise of like him as Super Mario. He had all these crazy like wind ups, bro. He's throwing sidearm to Shohei Otani, and then he's doing like a Louis Tiant shoulder roll. Like, bro, he had it all. He had it all going for him. He was a meme. But then he put the performance on the mound as well, and he put everything together. Like
Mm-hmm.
seeing Nestor, and I think that's why 2022 is so important, right? Because I think 2021 he was kind of a joke. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he was a
Sure.
little bit of a joke, and I mean that in like the most respectful way. I think he might even say the same thing. He was like that fun-loving guy who kind of like we don't know how this is happening, but we're gonna ride this wave for as long as it goes for. And then now I think in 2022, he's being taken a lot more seriously.
Yeah.
Obviously, like he's still like that fun-loving guy who's like eating an apple in the dugout every night. But I think also at the same time, it's like, yo, I think everyone kind of has to put some respect on his name. Like me especially, bro. Like I said, I
Yeah.
thought he was a fluke. He proved me wrong. I'm ecstatic about it. I'm not one of those people who's going to be salty that my narrative isn't fulfilled. But I'm ecstatic that Nestor Cortes has emerged as one of the best pitchers in baseball. Now, granted, I hope that this could kind of like last for as long as possible. But we're looking at a guy right now who has a sub 1.5 ERA. The argument can be made that he's the best pitcher on the Yankees, even better than Garrett Cole, especially to start the season. And Brian, if he keeps going at this rate, like I don't think it's too outlandish to say that he could be starting for the American League in Los Angeles for the All-Star game.
Wow.
Like that's not
That's a
crazy to
hot
say.
take.
I don't even
No,
think
it's
it is
really
at this
not.
point.
Honestly, it's not that crazy. The way he's been pitching so far. I mean, who's better than him in the AL? Tell me.
No one. Bro, literally no one. You might be able to like whip out some random dude with a lower ERA. I don't care. Like we're talking about playing for the New York Yankees, bro. Listen, I don't care what the ERA leaders are. I don't care what the whip leaders are. Nestor Cortes has been the best pitcher in the American League by far this season. Don't care what anyone says. Chat. If you have like any gripes in the comment section, let me know because I'll argue. Dude, I promise. If you want to argue with me, I will respond to your comment very angrily. But also at the same time, like I do want to say, I still think Garrett Cole's the Yankees' ace. Like
Well,
I
yeah, of
will say
course.
that even though like Nestor's been like one of the best pitchers in the AL, I think people who are kind of like getting that narrative twisted, just because I think Nestor is like one of the best pitchers in the AL to start the season, doesn't mean I don't think Garrett Cole is still the ace of the New York Yankees. You know what I
Sure,
mean? And
of course.
that's also like a topic for another day. But like kind of like I said, like if Nestor continues at that on this rate, not only will he be like starting for the American League in Los Angeles for the All-Star game, he'll be in Cy Young discussion. Dude, if he continues at this
That's
rate,
crazy.
we might be looking at like a Nestor Cortes Cy Young award.
That's
And if I would
crazy.
have told you, Brian, if I would have told you this going into the 2020 season, that
Mhm.
by 2022, Nestor Cortes might have more Cy Young votes than Garrett Cole, you probably would have put me in like an insane asylum. And you know what? It would have been well deserved. But look at us now. I think like the only thing that we could say about Nestor is the rise of Nestor Cortes Jr. is something that you don't really see in baseball too often, right? You know what I could kind of compare this to? It's the same thing as if like Andrew Velasquez or Tyler Wade, right? Out of nowhere, they emerged like next season and became an MVP candidate. They're putting up like 40 home runs a season, batting like 330. Like that's the evolution, a very similar evolution to how we saw Nestor go from straight up mop up guy to now top of the line arm who can be a Cy Young contender. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize that. And then I know a lot of people do appreciate Nestor Cortes Jr., but I
Sure.
really think that people need to take into account the rise of Nestor Cortes Jr., you know?
Like that. That has a nice ring.
Just saying. But yo, with that being said, you have anything else you want to say about Nestor, Brian?
He's a beautiful, beautiful man.
I like that. We should grow mustaches just like Nestor.
Can we?
We should.
I think we could pull it off.
I think we could. Chat, if you want to see us do it, just like drop some comments. Drop some mustache emojis. I like that.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yo, if you made it to the end of the video, drop some mustache emojis. Make it happen. Also, yo, if you're at this part of the video, just know, like, yo, the pre-recorded videos, like, if you like these, let me know, because they're coming back. Like, we're going to be doing, like, 3 of these a week. I know I've said that in the past. We're actually doing it this time. We're doing it, bro. Call me Patty Ambition from now on. Just saying. But yo,
Patty pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded Patty. Let's go. But yo, we'll see you guys next time. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. Be sure to sign up for my bookie. Link in description. Promo code Yankees1000. Get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Do it. But yeah, you guys know the deal. I'll see you next time. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. I'll see you all next time. Peace.